Now, we're still learning what the after effects of the COVID-19 pandemic will be, but it is already apparent that many people are suffering from what is known as long COVID. It's also thought that many are trying to deal with it without getting the help they need. Well, that's where the Merseyside NHS Foundation Trust have been trying to step in and help. Eric Morris is one of those who's been able to get assistance thanks to them, and he's been speaking to BBC Radio Merseyside's Mike Perkins about just what we should be on the lookout for.
Well, we're at the Southport Centre for Health and Wellbeing in sunny Southport, it has to be said. It's always sunny in Southport, isn't it? And that's our guest you can hear there, Eric Morris. Eric, you've been through it a bit, really, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been through the ringer the last 12 months, yes, yeah. Even before that, but this is a new episode in my life.
You've had long COVID. Now, tell me, what was it that made you go, goodness me, this is what this is? Because lots of people will have heard of it.
Yes.
It's something society is going to be dealing with for some time. But what made you go, hang on, this is what I've got?
There's still a lot of sceptics around. I went in for a cataract operation on the 13th of January. I've been locked down for 2 years, come out from my surgery, go home, following day, I'm floored, I'm positive for COVID. And over the next few days, I just went down and down and down. So much so that I tell people I have no recollection of 5 days where I was laid up in bed. I got up and tried to get myself going and found there was something very strange going on with my body. It didn't belong to me anymore. I couldn't think straight, which they now call brain fog. I couldn't walk hardly. I kept bumping into things, falling over, racking cough that drove me mad that went on for weeks. Just very, very strange. So much so that my wife decided after a few weeks, because something was very wrong, you're going to the doctor. So I went to see a doctor and he went through the history of what I've been through. And he said, it sounds like you've got long COVID.
Interestingly, you said there, it was your wife who made you go. She made the decision ultimately. Was that because it was almost hard for you to accept what this potentially could be?
It's probably 50-50. I didn't know what I had, but I knew it had a huge impact on my life and on my family as well, obviously. And she said, well, we can't go on like this. We've got to try and find out what it is because you're not the same. You're not the same person. So, yes, she was the driving force. She's always been the driving force, the matriarch, if you like. So it was down to her that I made that decision, conscious decision, to do something, yes.
You've mentioned brain fog there.
Yes.
Tell us about what brain fog is to you and why it affects you and how it affects you.
Brain fog is simply to talk to you now with a microphone in front of me. I've got to concentrate very tightly, closely, all the time what I'm saying, because sometimes I can be talking and it just drifts. I forget what I've been talking about. The other thing is, you say you go upstairs and forget what you've gone upstairs for. Well, it was far worse than that. Like Gina would bring me a cup of tea and I'd forget it was there. Answering questions, I wouldn't have picked up the question. Communication became very difficult, person to person, and just your mind would just go blank for no reason.
It's incredible you're communicating as well as you are and being as eloquent as you are right now.
That's because I'm having to concentrate, and I'll be worn out later. Yeah, I will be. I'll flop.
So things like that, they physically take it out of you, and that must be difficult because you were a head teacher, you used to teach PE and things like that.
Very active, yeah.
You know, as you say there, you had this active lifestyle.
I used to ride a motorbike. I can't do that now. I haven't got the balance. I'm not safe on it, so my motorbike's got to go. I can't walk places because I just haven't got the energy. People say they forget where they've parked the car when they've gone somewhere. That happens fairly frequently.
So how's this place helped you then? What have they done for you? Because you're full of praise for them.
Yeah, it's immeasurable. I can't measure what they've done. I can't even put it into words. The word they've got me from, it's almost like a miracle to me. I can't believe how far we've come from what I could do then to what I can do now with physio, the psychological side. It's almost returned my social life because for a time I just didn't want to go anywhere, didn't want to be bothered. You become so disinterested in life because you don't see the tunnel is long, black, and the little light is a long, long way away. Well, that's much closer now. I know I'll never get back to where I was before. That's just out of the question. But where I am now, I'm blessed. Yeah, I have been to meet these people, and for the efforts, the time, the enthusiasm, and the support and the push I've had from them, it's immeasurable. I can't thank them enough.
That's Eric Morris talking to Mike Perkins. And if you want to access the long COVID services, you can contact Merseycare NHS Foundation Trust.